If she didn't want your attention, she wouldn't be doing this. Let's start there, because that's the cold truth most men miss. Listen, we live in a world where men are told to be respectful and mind their space. And while that's absolutely true, it's also made a lot of men blind. Blind to obvious signals. Blind to when a woman is actually saying, "Look at me." Not with words, but with subtle, loaded actions that scream for attention. Here's the part most men don't like to hear. Women rarely make the first move directly. But they sure know how to light the fuse. They'll test you. They'll position themselves just close enough that you notice them. They'll glance. They'll adjust. They'll do everything but walk up and say, "Hey, I want you to see me." And most men, they freeze. They hesitate. They miss the opportunity. Why? Because we've been trained to ignore our instincts, to suppress our masculine awareness, to avoid reading too much into things. But let me say this. A woman doesn't throw signals at just anybody. She chooses, she selects. She puts herself in your line of sight. And if you don't look, if you don't respond, you've just disqualified yourself in her eyes. And no, I'm not talking about staring like a creep or violating her comfort. I'm talking about awareness, recognition, the ability to read what's really happening in the room, and responding like a man who gets it. This video is going to wake a lot of men up. And it's probably going to rattle a few people too. But I'll tell you this. If you've ever walked past a woman and wondered, was she trying to get my attention? This is the video you need. Because after today, you won't just wonder. You'll know. And more importantly, you'll know what to do about it. Let's talk about the 10 signs a woman shows when she wants you to notice her. 1. She fixes her hair. When you're around, here's something most guys never notice, until it's too late. If a woman is fixing her hair when you show up, she's not doing it for her health. Think about it. She's been at the event for an hour. She didn't suddenly forget how her hair looked. But you walk in, or you get closer, and all of a sudden, she's flipping it, tucking it, smoothing it out. That's not a coincidence, man. That's a signal. Women know what hair means. It's softness, femininity, attention grabbing. It frames the face. It draws the eye. So when she starts doing little things like running her fingers through it slowly, flipping it to the other side, pulling it into a loose ponytail, and letting it fall again, fixing a strand that didn't even need fixing. It's not just about looks, it's about your attention. Let me give you something every man can relate to. You're at a coffee shop. You're standing in line, and you notice the woman in front of you glance back for a split second. Then she turns slightly in your direction, not too obvious, and suddenly her hand goes up. She's adjusting her hair clip, then smoothing a side part. Then she checks her reflection in her phone screen. That's not maintenance. That's performance. She's silently saying, "Are you seeing me now?" But most men look away. Most men miss it. And by the time they realize she was into them, she's already decided they don't have the confidence to engage. Here's the truth. Women test the waters by amplifying their femininity. Hair is one of their strongest, safest ways to do that. If she's fixing her hair because you just entered the scene, she wants you to notice her. She wants to be seen. So what do you do next? Don't ignore it. Don't gawk either. Make eye contact. Acknowledge. Maybe even throw a smile her way. Confidently, not desperately. It's about showing her you're a man who sees the signs. 2. She walks by you, slowly and repeatedly. Let's be honest. Women know how to move when they want to be seen. If she's walking past you once, maybe it's just coincidence. Twice? 3 times or more. That's strategy. A woman who's interested won't just stand there and hope you say something. Instead, she'll place herself in your space, repeatedly, casually, but very intentionally. And the way she moves, it's slower, more fluid, less rushed than she is with anyone else. You might think she's just walking by, but ask yourself, why does she keep passing this side of the room? Why does she slow down when she's right in front of you? Why is her body posture just a little more open when she's nearby. This is not an accident, it's her way of drawing you into her orbit without saying a word. Here's where a lot of men mess up. They assume if she wanted me to notice her, she'd talk to me. That's not how it works. Women often initiate attraction without initiating conversation. They test the room, they walk by, they position themselves close, and they wait to see if you have the awareness to catch it. You've probably seen this happen before and didn't even realize it. A woman you don't know suddenly keeps needing to be near your side of the bar, the row behind you at the gym, near your group at a lounge. Her steps are slow. She looks around, but not randomly. And every time she walks by, she's just a little more present. She's giving you a window, a soft opening, not desperate, not loud, just enough for you to notice. And if you keep ignoring it, she'll take the hint. She'll walk right out of your life just as smoothly as she walked by the first time. So what do? Don't wait for a billboard. Acknowledge the pattern. Say something light, situational, or just smile. Let her know you see the play, because once you do, you've moved from passive observer to an active part of her story. 3. She glances, then looks away fast. You felt this one before and maybe ignored it. That flash of eye contact that disappears like it never happened. That wasn't an accident. That was a test. A woman who's interested will often look at you, but she won't hold it. Not right away. She'll make the glance fast, almost too fast. Just enough to get your attention, but not enough to risk full exposure. Why? Because she wants to know if you saw her, and more importantly, she wants to see how you react. That quick glance is the modern woman's version of a handshake. It's silent, subtle, but powerful. And if you fail to catch it, she assumes you're not aware, not confident, or worse, uninterested. Here's what happens on her end. She spots you. She thinks, okay, maybe. Then comes the glance. Just one, maybe two. Then she looks away like she didn't even notice you. But make no mistake, she noticed. That glance is often the beginning of everything. And here's the messed up part. A lot of men see it, but they question themselves. Nah, that wasn't for me. She probably wasn't even looking at me. She looked away. That's not a good sign, right? Wrong. Looking away fast doesn't mean rejection. It often means curiosity mixed with nervous interest. She's not going to stare you down like it's a showdown. That's not how attraction works for most women. They play subtle. They open a tiny door and wait. You know what separates sharp men from everyone else? They catch it, and they don't just look away or pretend it didn't happen. They hold the moment for just a little longer, a glance back, a calm smile, something that shows you're not afraid of the tension. If you're a man who's tired of missing signals, this is one to tattoo into your memory. That quick look away isn't rejection, it's an invitation. She's waiting to see if you step forward or disappear into the crowd like every other guy. Don't disappear. Be the one who sees her glance and owns the moment. 4. She speaks louder. When you're near. Let's not sugarcoat it. Too many men have gone deaf to signals that are right in their faces. If you walk into a space and suddenly the volume shifts, not the music, not the crowd, her, it's not random. She's not being loud for the fun of it. She's raising the volume so you can hear her. That's it. That's the game. She wants to be noticed, but she's not walking up to you. She's trying to pull you in from where she is. And one of the oldest ways women do this is by projecting their voice just enough so it cuts through the noise and lands right where you're standing. Now here's the criticism. Too many men act like background furniture. You walk into a room, and instead of scanning and reading the energy like a man in control, you shrink. You stare at your phone. You ignore shifts in tone, body language, voice. You act like you don't even exist. Let me tell you something. If a woman notices you enough to change how she speaks, you better damn well be aware enough to notice her. This isn't about being arrogant. This is about being awake. if you hear her laughing louder than before, if she starts talking with more energy, even exaggerating her tone a bit, if her voice rises the moment you walk by and then quiets again when you move away, she's not performing for the crowd. She's performing for you. But if you're too distracted, too uncertain, or too lost in your own head, you'll miss it completely. And she'll pick up on that fast. You know what happens then? She pulls the energy back. She looks for someone else who can actually read the room. A man who's present, grounded, and confident enough to respond. So here's your wake-up call. Start paying attention. Stop zoning out. Stop walking around like a guy who's too respectful to engage with reality. You're not being respectful. You're being invisible. If her voice gets louder when you show up, take it as the cue it is. That's your opening. That's your sign. Don't blow it. 5. She laughs more than the joke deserves. You say something mildly funny, not even your best material, and suddenly she's laughing like you're headlining a Netflix special. That's not about the joke. That's about you. When a woman is into you, her laughter isn't always about humor. It's about connection, about making you feel good, about creating warmth and a shared moment. And when she laughs harder, louder, or longer than the situation calls for, she's signaling more than you think. Here's what she's really saying underneath that laugh. I enjoy your presence. I want you to feel comfortable. I'm giving you a green light. Are you going to do something with it? But let's address something bluntly. Most men don't realize they're getting this kind of feedback in real time. They think, oh, she's just friendly, or she probably laughs like that with everyone. Sometimes that's true, but often it's not. She's turning the volume up on her laughter to show interest, and you're treating it like background noise. Don't do that. When a woman invests energy in reacting to you, you pay attention. Laughter is a low-risk, high-reward way for her to show you, I'm open, I'm relaxed, I like this interaction. It's like an invisible bridge she's building between you, soft, playful, but strong enough to walk across if you have the courage. Let me be even more clear. She's not doing that with everyone. There's a difference between polite social laughter and the kind of sparked, engaged laughter that's aimed at one man. You. She leans in. She smiles even after the laugh fades. Her body language loosens up. She's not analyzing your joke. She's reacting to how you make her feel, so don't second guess it. Don't brush it off. And definitely don't sit there trying to think of a funnier follow-up line. Just relax into it. Match the energy. Keep the vibe alive. That kind of laughter is an invitation. She's signaling that you are the source of that mood. Be the man who notices. Be the man who knows what it means. 6. She touches her neck or lips subtly. This one is powerful and most men miss it. If you're around a woman and she starts touching her neck or her lips, even just for a second, pay attention. Why? Because those are vulnerable areas. And whether she knows it or not, when a woman puts her fingers near her mouth or her neck, it's a non-verbal attraction cue. Let's break it down. The neck represents vulnerability. It's exposed, soft, and instinctively protected. If she's touching it or leaving it open around you, it means she feels safe, maybe even slightly nervous in a good way. The lips? That's not hard to figure out. They're sensual, expressive, and deeply tied to communication and connection. When she brings attention to her lips, even with something as simple as biting, pressing, or touching them, she's drawing your eyes there. You see where this is going. These are subconscious behaviors. She's not rehearsing them in the mirror. They happen naturally when she's near someone she's attracted to, especially someone who makes her a little flustered, in a good way. Now here's the kicker. Most men either don't notice or they assume she's just adjusting something. No. She's sending a signal, a quiet one. It says, I'm open, I'm relaxed, I'm feeling this. And listen, I'm not saying every woman who touches her lips is into you. Context matters. But if you're talking to her, there's chemistry in the air and she starts doing that. She's trying to get your attention without asking for it. This is subtle but powerful. It's her way of inviting intimacy without crossing the line. It's not a move, it's a moment. And if you miss it, that moment passes, and so does the momentum. Too many guys are locked in their heads, trying to think of the perfect thing to say. Meanwhile, she's already given them a signal to move forward, and they don't even see it. Wake up. Start noticing these small things. Because when a woman plays with her lips or brushes her neck while near you, she's not just fixing herself. She's expressing curiosity, comfort, and desire. 7. She adjusts her clothes for no reason. This one slips right past most men. A woman starts pulling her top down slightly, or smoothing out her dress, or tugging at her sleeves when she wasn't even moving a second ago. And you think, oh, she's just fixing herself. Wrong. She's fixing herself because you're there. Let's get real. Women know what their clothes look like. They spent time getting ready, checking the mirror, adjusting everything before they left the house. If she starts readjusting things in front of you, out of nowhere, she's aware of you. She's thinking about your eyes. This isn't about vanity. It's about presence. Your presence. She's making micro adjustments because she suddenly wants to look just a little better. Maybe it's smoothing her skirt, tightening her belt, adjusting a strap, and it usually happens at the exact moment you walk in, pass by, or lock eyes with her. You know what that means? She's self-conscious in a good way. She's asking herself, how do I look to him right now? Without saying a word. This is where a lot of men drop the ball. They either ignore it completely or they stare and make it awkward. Both are wrong. What you need to do is simple. Notice it and respond with calm awareness. A slight smirk, a glance that holds steady for just a beat longer, something that shows you caught the shift. Because here's the truth. If she's adjusting her outfit because of you, she wants to be seen. And no, don't be the guy who assumes every woman adjusting a sleeve is into him. But if the energy's already there, if there's been glances, proximity, or just that magnetic tension in the air, this move matters. She's not insecure. She's not uncomfortable. She's alert. She's preparing for your attention. And the real test? Do you notice, or do you just walk by like a ghost? If you want to stand out, stop zoning out. Clothes adjusting isn't random. It's deliberate, especially when it happens only when you show up. 8. She doesn't move away when you get close. All right, let's be very clear about this one. A woman who's not into you will create space, instantly. She'll take a step back. She'll shift her body. She'll cross her arms. She'll do something to close herself off. But if you get closer, maybe just a few feet away, and she doesn't move, if she stays relaxed, open, maybe even turns toward you slightly, that's huge. Why? Because body language never lies. If she wanted distance, she'd make it obvious. But if she stays right where she is and she's aware of your presence, then congratulations, you've been greenlit. Let me break this down for the guys who still don't get it. Women are highly aware of their surroundings. They notice everything. And if you step into their space, especially in a public setting, and they feel even a little uncomfortable, they'll show it quickly. But when a woman is interested, her body relaxes. Her shoulders don't tense. She doesn't turn away. She might even lean slightly toward your direction. Not dramatically, just enough for your radar to catch it. You know what that means? She's comfortable. She's curious. She's open. She's not afraid of you being closer. In fact, she might want more of it. And most men, they miss this completely. They're so focused on saying the right thing, they don't even realize her body already gave them permission to engage. Let's flip it. If you step closer and she steps back, don't push it. That's her boundary. Respect it. But if she doesn't step back, if she holds her ground, with eye contact, with presence, maybe even a smile, then that's a message. She doesn't need to flirt with words. Her body language is doing all the talking. So what should you do? Be calm, Be aware. Let your energy match hers. Don't rush. Don't invade. But don't retreat either. Hold that space with quiet confidence. That's what separates a grounded man from one who's still unsure of himself. She didn't move away. That's not nothing. That's your signal. 9. She mirrors your movements. Without knowing, this one's deep, subtle, almost invisible, unless you're paying attention. You move your arm to take a sip, and 5 seconds later, she does the same. You cross your legs, and somehow she shifts hers too. You lean forward, and so does she. That's not random, that's mirroring. And it's one of the oldest, most primal signs of attraction there is. Here's why it matters. People mirror those they feel connected to. It's subconscious. It's instinct. It's chemistry showing up through body language. When a woman is subtly copying your pace, your gestures, even your expressions, she's syncing with your energy. She's attuning to you without even thinking about it. Now, the dangerous part is most guys don't notice this at all. Why? Because they're too focused on what to say, or they're second-guessing themselves. But a man who's grounded, calm, and present will feel it. He'll recognize that her movements are echoing his own, and that's his cue. Not to get cocky, not to act like he's won, but to hold space, to guide the interaction, to lead, because she's already following without a word. Don't sleep on this one. Mirroring is silent interest. Respect it, read it, respond to it. 10. She stays in your line of sight. On purpose. Here's the final one. And it's bold once you really see it. She's not talking to you. She's not walking toward you. But somehow, she keeps ending up where you can see her. Across the room, at the edge of your vision. Everywhere you look, there she is. Coincidence? Not a chance. She's positioning herself where you can't ignore her. She wants to be seen by you. She doesn't need to approach. She doesn't even need to flirt. Her presence is the flirt. Her visibility is the challenge. And if you catch it, if you look and she holds that gaze just long enough, then glances away, that's game on. This is her version of walking up without walking up. It's modern attraction in motion, quiet, confident, and controlled. She's placed herself in your frame. Now the question is, do you have the awareness to see it and the boldness to act on it? Here's the truth most men still refuse to accept. A woman will never chase you, but she will position herself for the man who can see through the noise. She doesn't need to say, "I want you." She shows it through subtlety, movement, presence. And if you keep ignoring those signs, you'll keep living life invisible to the very women trying to get your attention. Comment below, tell me your experience. Have you missed signs like these? Have you noticed but hesitated? Let's talk. I respond. I listen. This isn't just content, it's conversation. And trust me, I see you.